position, they are obligated to put how much you are going to earn every year. And the least I've seen that you can earn in a year is $60,000 per year. So let's
Yeah.
say 5,000 per month, which is not the best, but is something to start.
Yeah,
Something
exactly.
to start. But I think that crossover for work,
Yeah.
it is a magnificent website, and I've started just looking at it because in order to apply to any of those positions, you really need to have a bachelor degree. So
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
there are some positions from a thousand from 100,000 per year that you need to have a master or a post degree and things like that. So, but it is interesting because you can apply to, for example, a key account manager for Uber at the Netherlands, for example, or you can apply to in this case of my friend, she applied to a project manager in Michigan City, and there are a lot of positions in
Yeah.
Qatar, Dubai, a lot of places.
Mhm.
So it is interesting and it's motivating. The most important thing because
Mhm.
you can make a decision on what you want for your life just by seeing that thing over there that you
Yeah.
have to choose.
Yes, exactly. Okay. All right. How are you guys? How do you
Hi.
feel today?
Good afternoon.
How was your day? Hey, Lisandro.
Hi.
Good evening. What's good? Busy as usually, but good.
Mhm. All right. What are your plans for this weekend?
What are sorry?
What are your plans for this weekend?
Continue working for me. I start my second time tomorrow.
Well, guys, it will be a sunny weekend, so we have to
Yeah,
take advantage of that.
exactly. Yeah.
So you should go to the beach to, okay, drink a couple of cocktails and with seafood, right?
Yeah.
You know the key, Carlos.
Yeah, you deserve it. So
Yeah.
you work a lot during the
During the week.
previous days. So during the week, and then it is important to, get out and get away from San Salvador City for a
Yeah.
while.
Mhm. Hey, Johnny. Hey
Hi,
there. How are
teacher.
you?
Hello, I'm in traffic.
Okay. Are you
How are
going
you
back home?
guys? What?
Are you going back home?
Yes, well, I'm trying to because it's kind of impossible. But
Yeah, it's Friday.
A typical Friday.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, let's recap about what we did yesterday. Let's see if you remember. But try not to take a look at the PDF, right? Just try to remember. Okay, Walter. Um, were you here yesterday, Walter? No, right?
No, teacher. I
Okay.
missed
All right.
yesterday's class. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, Armando,
Yeah,
what does embarkment mean?
embark is start something as a project.
Okay, very good. Okay. Manuel, uh, what does set off mean?
Set off when you start a new project.
When you start a new project.
Something. Okay.
When you start a new project,
Yeah.
or when you start a journey.
I don't know, a journey. I
Okay.
don't
All
know.
right. A
But
journey.
when you start something.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But referring to something that you might have fun, right? By doing it, right? Okay, let's see. Lisandro, what does put up mean?
When you accommodate someone at home,
Okay, very good. Okay, Johnny,
Yes,
what does get away mean?
when you go to a holiday with someone else.
Okay, when you go on a holiday. Okay,
Yeah,
very good. Baker, what does pick back up mean?
Something like make someone or a group of people start to do something in a moment, or something like I can get to a place to take you with me to go to another place.
Okay, when you start doing something after having a break, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right. Lopez, what does stopover mean?
And you make a short visit at some place.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, guys, I'm going to share a quote with you, and we're going to have a discussion based on it. You have it right there on the PDF as well. So, Lisandro, can you please read?
okay, travel isn't always pretty. It isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it hurts. It even breaks your heart, but that's okay. The journey changed you. It should change you. It leaves marks on your memory, on your consciousness, on your heart, on your body, and on your body. You take something with you. Hopefully, you have something good behind. Anthony Bourdain.
Okay, all right. Travel isn't always pretty. It isn't always comfortable, right? Sometimes it hurts. It even breaks your heart, but that's okay. The journey changes you. This should change you. It leaves marks on your memory, on your consciousness, on your heart, on your body. You take something with you. Okay, hopefully you leave something good behind. All right, so what do you think about this quote?
Well, coming from Anthony Bourdain, who was a extraordinary chef that traveled around the world by, tasting and not just food, but also sharing good moments with the people on those destinations. I think it's a good quote based on his experience.
Okay. Lisandro, what do you think about this quote? That you have traveled a lot. What do you think about this?
For me, I think that there is always a good experience when you decide to travel somewhere, especially when you take that risk. Sometimes, people are not willing to go to some places where you can, maybe you have listened someone saying, no, don't go to that place because it's too dangerous. Or if this is a place that is too expensive and or too dirty. I think every place in the world has something to discover, something that you can really enjoy. And this is a very individual experience. So you have to dare yourself to do it, and to do it, you have to go and you have to discover the place by yourself. You have to create your own memories, your own idea about the place.
Yeah.
And I don't see anything negative whenever you decide to take a trip, even if you don't have a lot of money. I think it's important to take that risk and go and of course you need to have a plan. But if you are all the time waiting for to get that specific amount of money that you need, maybe you never do it. So just take the risk and go.
Why do you think it says sometimes it hurts?
Well, that might happen when, for example, when you meet someone special, like, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you're drinking in a bar or something like that, or you can meet a girl, for example, in a disco or in a club, and you feel that connection, but you know that you don't belong to that place, you are just passing by.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be a good example when the
Okay.
travel hurt.
All right. Very good. Very good. Baker, what do you think about this
Tell
quote?
me. I think that it has a reason because I am one person that loves to travel. But however, it is not always a good decision that you can that you could take because there are moments that are the specific moments that you have to make the journey to in order to get away from your job, from your work, from the stress, from the city. However, there are many trips that are forced, and that is those are the ones that hurts the people. I think that is okay, and I think that the text has a lot of reason.
Okay. All right. Walter?
Hey, I was thinking this quote has a lot of truths. Just um, just the first one I don't like it because for me always travel is always pretty.
Pretty.
You
Okay.
can yeah you can always learn new experiences. The fact that you learn new cultures, you discover new things, you discover new people. I think that this is what opens your mind because you change. We used to live in a so close space, just working from home to work or to go with some friends, but that's it. And we are not used to discover new people,
Mm-hmm.
new cultures, and that's what made you open your mind, right? Because you can meet people from different countries. As an example, if you go uh, really close here to Panama, you will see a lot of different cultures because Panama is like a hub, and
Mm-hmm.
you can meet people from different countries, different way of thinking, different cultures, different um, food. It's okay to say
Mm-hmm.
different food. Yeah, you can learn
Yeah.
from a lot of things. For me, when it says something, sometimes it hurts. What I'm thinking is because you perhaps get to be in love for for the place, and not just because of the you meet a girl or something like that. It can happen too, but at least in my opinion, I fall in love with Madrid. It's a really beautiful city, and every time I had the chance, I want to return to Madrid because that city caught my heart. And basically, it hurts when I need to say goodbye, Madrid. Hopefully, I will return someday. But that's why, for me, sometimes it hurts leaving the country, leaving people you met, a lot of things because
Have you ever felt sad, guys, when coming back to your country?
it's like a
Like me,
mixed
only when
Yeah.
feeling.
I coming back from Madrid. The
Uh-huh.
same. Only when I coming back from Madrid. I never get tired of Madrid. I love
Yeah.
Madrid.
It's like a mixed feeling because in one hand, you want to return to see your family, um, to see something familiar. It called me crazy, but I remember that I was dying for eating beans, plantains, cream, uh, cheese. I was dying for that meal, but it was hard to leave that beautiful city behind. So it's mixed feelings when you need to say goodbye to a city and return to your home. But
Yeah,
you are actually happy to see your family and friends.
mm, exactly. Okay. Manuel was here, right?
Yep.
He just left.
Yep.
Okay. Well, Armando, have you ever heard?
Yes,
Have you ever had any bad experience when traveling?
well, I had an experience long time ago because of a trip that I had to do. I have to do to Pakistan. So when I get a new position in my company at that time, the training was there. So for me, it was shocking the culture, the food, and the way that those guys treat the women. I didn't like. It was disgusting for me to see women as I can't compare the kind of treatment. So I spent there 15 days. The first 3 days for try to overcome the jet lag, and then try to taste that kind of food, spicy,
Yeah.
and there is no kind of healthy food for me. And well, fortunately, I finished that training uh, after 15 days. I haven't been there again. I don't like.
And you don't want to go
As,
back.
as Walter say, I miss my frijoles and pupusas here, and I was happy when I came back. The trip, the flights were a little bit strange, particularly the leg from London to Islamabad.
Hmm.
It's a kind of a you know um, share the flight with the people that are a different culture, and as I say, the women are treated as a different way than men. So it was shocking for me. And of course, it was a long flight. I remember that last around 10 hours from London to
Hmm.
Islamabad. Also, I miss my colleagues. Unfortunately, I shared that training with two colleagues from
Hmm.
Latin America. And when we came back to London, it doesn't matter the time at the airport. We share a couple of beers because it was a kind of, a relief.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, and then after that, I had some trouble with when I traveled to US because in my passport was, stamped the Pakistani seal, and always I
Mhm.
had a lot of questions from those guys. Why I went there and what I did there. So it was a little bit difficult until I changed my passport. The question stopped. Otherwise, it would continue. So it's a little bit difficult, the kind of culture. Of course, I didn't go as a tourist. Maybe that
Mhm.
kind of
Yeah.
approach would be different, but
Hmm.
it's a matter of, job. It was difficult.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay, Freddie, what's your experience when traveling?
For me, it's happiness, teacher.
Okay.
Happiness when I travel, but sad when I get back. No, really, I had a friend that he had us in love with a girl in another country, and he really doesn't want to accept that he was in love about that.
Yeah.
And when we get back, we were in the plane. He was literally crying. So
Crying.
yeah,
Wow.
he was crying, and I think that he get a little depressed because of that. But for me, it was funny. And
Okay.
in my particular way, yeah, sometimes I miss my family and things like that. But since my trips are very short, I don't have that much problem because I always have been traveling, but for a few times, for a few days. But I think that if you were travel for a long time and for working matters or things like that, it's gonna be a little hard.
Okay.
But if it's in the way that you can know different cultures, different places, you will enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to feel so sad or feel hard.
Okay. What's been pretty the longest trip you've ever taken?
I had a trip for 9 months because I had a master degree, so it was the most longer that I had. But I was sure that I will get back. So it was the last the most long trip, and in other 2 weeks in another trip it was 2 weeks only. So in some other cases they're only a few days or a weekend. So
Okay.
that's what I say, that I feel sad
All
but
right.
I get back.
Okay. Manuel, what's your experience when traveling?
Well, from a tourist point of view, it can be good if you stay inside the bubble of your plane or your package. But if you are able to go beyond of that, maybe you can see something uh, different. I have seen, for example, people eating from the garbage in Argentina one time, in 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 Mexico too, in Brazil, for example. Uh, and one time I remember that I met the deported people at the airport in Mexico, and that is the real life in that country. No more beyond of your tourist package, and yes, sometimes could be good, and sometimes you can crush with this kind of, of actions in the other countries, no? And that
Okay.
and you that kind of actions could put a mark in your mind.
Okay. All right. Manuel, how did you feel once you were here for the first time? I mean, but coming, because you were living
But
in Venezuela, right?
yes,
So, did you
yes,
feel any difference? How did you feel the
yes,
first time you came here?
of course. Always know the situation in my country that is very difficult, and it's more maybe is I have forgotten peor,
Worse.
worst. of that we see here in the news, because I have people living there, and I know that we have a lot of differences, and of course every country have her own problems, and Latin America is it's similar, right? Corruption, thieves on the streets, a lot of poor people, and in the south of America, we it's not usually to know more about the countries between Mexico and Costa Rica, for example. We know not too much of these countries,
Okay.
and for me was a big surprise, of course, all that we can hear in South America is more that is a dangerous place, and the people is I don't know, the maras. That is the kind of news that we heard there. But no, it's totally different. Of course, here in Salvador had a lot of problems, but it's in Venezuela too. In Mexico, is equal. In Panama, the all country have its own problems.
Okay. Yeah. Lopez, what's your point of view?
I think that the beauty of journeys or trips in this case lies in that they have to come to an end, right? And the way to going abroad expands your mind. That is the point of going abroad, I think. As Manuel was saying, I lived over Panama a few months on 2014, and I learned there that El Salvador is a better place to live. I mean, this in spite of we have a much more troubles, and it is a more dangerous country. But in terms of, I don't know, of culture, of how the way how people treat you, society development, I think it is better here. But because, for example, in Panama, traffic is 10 times here. For example, traffic is way something that we wouldn't be able to manage as a Salvadoran. We would kill ourselves or kill someone else. We're starting doing it here, but in Panama we would have done it 10 years ago. The way people treat you, it is not as kind as here. If they don't see you a European or US citizen or someone with money, you're not valuable for them as a person. Once they see or once they watch your passport, then it comes a different story, or that's what happened to me at least. The food over there, it is awful. I don't know. I learned a lot because I became someone patient, because I think that in Panama, a Salvadoran knows what kind of people he is. In Panama, when you can measure what kind of people or person he is in traffic, while he's in traffic, for example, the ones who commit suicide or the ones who become someone patient, right? So in that case, I became patient. I learned how to get over things that maybe before were personal for me, or I could take personally. And I think that I didn't make it on Panama. I came back. I got a job here and I came back. I didn't make it over there. It was too expensive. Cost of life. I couldn't afford it. So I had to come back.
How long did
And
you live there?
what?
How long did you live there?
6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had to pay rent, I had to pay the car, I had to pay everything, and I earned more money, right? But at this the expenses were at the same rate. So
Yeah.
basically, I wasn't doing anything. And at least here in El Salvador, this house uh, is mine, for example. I don't have to pay rent. I have a car. I have a job. I am a natural person here. I was a foreign person over there. I had no rights, no civil rights. Here I have civil rights. Yeah, that's something that you start to value when you are abroad. Uh, the way we treat each other here, yeah, it's been hard these last days, these last years, but in terms of I don't know, the way it is average, in an average, here is better. No, here is better. For the before I went there was a problem that maybe over there was a huge thing that happened. That there is this long street called Uruguay Street. In that street is like the Zona Rosa here. There are a lot of bars, a lot of hotels, a lot of things. It is a kind of club zone, right?
Yeah.
The thing is that a week before I arrived there was a huge mob, I don't know, robbery, something like that. There were these guys that decided to steal a carro blindado. I don't know how to say that.
Um,
Armor vehicle.
Something like that. They decided to steal one of those.
Bulletproof
And
car.
what?
Bulletproof car.
Yes, yeah, one of those. They wrote something like that, and they started mugging every single club and every single restaurant and everything over that street one Monday in the night or one Friday or something. They escaped with hundred thousands of dollars. They robbed a lot of valuable things, cars, money, jewelry, a lot of things. So these kind of things, this, in spite that we have gangs here, doesn't happen. But over there was like a national shock. They were deployed the military on the streets, so it was a militarized zone. It was like a war zone. It was weird to see. So um, these kind of things doesn't happen here, and then you start to value what you have in your country, right? Your family, if you have a house, at least you have a house, a car, your friends. And I think that when you go abroad, it doesn't matter if you go to live over some place, other place, or you're just going into a trip. You learn how rich you can be, or how rich you can become, right? That's the beauty of journeys or trips. I mean,
okay. All
yep.
right. Very good. So you have the expression right there, Lopez.
What? Armored car. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Armored. Okay.
Armor card. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, Marlon.
Hi, teacher.
Did you read? Hi. Did you read the quote?
Yes.
What do you think about it?
Well, I think it's about when you go to a new place or a new country, or maybe it's not your first time in that place, but it's a place that you love too much because maybe you connect with nature, or maybe with the city, or with the people that it's in that country or in that city.
Yeah.
So you feel like in family, you feel like in your own country. And then when you have to get back to your country, maybe you feel a little sad because you want to stay in the place, but for different reasons you can. But yeah, you always love the place and you always want to return to the place. But every time that you visit the place, you learn and you develop a new personality, or you do your best. So I understand something like that.
Okay. All right. Johnny,
Yes, teacher.
what's your point of view about this quote?
No, I agree with the person wrote, because I think sometimes people travel not to enjoy, and not because it's necessary. Sometimes to work, and that kind of person maybe have family, and it's boring to be travel a lot, and I think not always cool enjoy when someone travel a lot. That is my point.
Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. All right, guys. Well, can you please take a look at the next exercise? Uh, Exercise number 5. Can you please, Victor, read the instructions? Victor? Okay, well, Freddie, help me out, please. Read the instructions.
All right, match word from box A and box B to create a pairs of synonymous.
Synonyms.
Synonyms.
Yeah, synonyms. Okay. And what are the words that you have, Freddie, in box A?
Box A, track, flatings, immersive, abundance, face.
Okay. What about the ones you have in box B?
Box B, plenty, confront,
Uh-huh.
short, engaging,
Engaging. Uh-huh.
path.
And path. Okay. What does fleet mean?
Something that is short, that lasts very shortly.
What word, teacher?
When
Fleeting.
you are forced,
Ah,
to leave a place.
When you what, Lisandro?
When you are forced to leave a place. When you are
When you are forced to leave a place.
Exactly.
You said fleet?
Fleeting.
for
Fleeting.
me, something
Yeah.
short, something that is not in a long term.
Something that lasts a little bit. Something like that.
Something that is
Short.
very short.
Very
Uh-huh.
short.
Very short.
Yes. Okay, fleeting. All right. So guys, can you,
Teachers,
yeah,
just sorry, I apologize because I was in a call.
okay, all right, not a problem, Victor. That's okay. Okay. Well, guys, oh, before we continue, right? Look at the chat. So equal, guys, is a math term. Okay, equal. All right. So, but instead of saying equal, because equal doesn't apply in this context, right? So we say the same. Okay, because equal is a math term. Okay. All right. So can you please go over the exercise 5? Okay, you have the phrases in the exercise number 6. Okay, so try to create a pair of synonyms using the words you have in box A and box B. Hey, Carlos, how are you?
Now, do you hear me?
Yep, I do.
Hello there. It's Friday, right?
Yeah.
Cool, Dad. What about the the club of speaking, or was the talking club, right? Or the
Yeah,
speaking club?
I think there are some speaking clubs on Saturday, but I think it's only one. We used to have during the week, but all of a sudden, we started having very few participants in the clubs. So
Okay.
now just the one that is on Saturday is available. But
Okay.
I'm not sure what time it is because now I'm not that familiar with that event.
What about the teacher? The other teacher was Osvaldo, or what was the name of? Jonathan, the one
Who?
of from the Union.
Oh, Giovanni.
Giovanni.
Giovanni. Yeah,
How is he?
yeah. Giovanni is still working.
Ah, perfect.
Yes, with us.
Perfect. And the last one, I didn't remember. I don't remember the name of the one who was before you at this course. No, the one
Rolando.
the last course.
Rolando.
Rolando, yeah.
Rolando.
Only 2 classes, right?
He was with you for a week, I guess. Right? For a week. Uh-huh.
We
He
changed.
suffered some bullying from Lissandra and Jonathan. That's why
What?
he left.
Really?
No, Lissandra is a good guy. He's a top banana. Jonathan also, right? Jonathan,
Yes, yes.
teacher, but we have a good problem. No, we have a real problem that all the
No
girls
problem.
suffer in this group of only men, right?
Yeah.
There are
Very
no
few girls.
any girls here.
Yes.
Jonathan is the Catherine here.
For
So
that
what's happening?
reason, paint the
De
short.
Catherine.
In what exercise we are? Sorry.
5.
Five, perfect. 5.
Yeah.
But it's not of the file art or prank, right? We are advanced,
Yeah. No. No.
I think.
We studied this topic yesterday. Is in the second week folder.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Will you walk your dog around the world? Oh, I don't know. But well, perfect.
Ready.
Hey, but I don't see the box B.
Why? You have it right there.
I don't know. Ah, okay. So track is pad, right? Ding.
Yep.
Fleeting. Fleeting, I think is fleeting. Let me see what is it. He had a fleeting moment of panic, but quickly recovered. That is an example of a brief or quick. So it's like so it's short, right?
Yeah. Fleeting is short.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Immersive,
Okay. All right.
engaging. abundance, plenty, and face comfort. Huh? Confront.
Confront.
Thank you, Carlos.
You're welcome, Jonathan. You know that the last teacher, Rolando, in all the exams, I was like, Rolando, please say the number one. No, I can't. Like 5 minutes later, it was like, okay, Carlos, is letter A. Just really mad.
Okay, all right. So track is path, right?
Yeah.
Track is path. What about fleeting? It's short, okay?
Short.
Okay, what about immersive?
Engaging.
Okay, engaging. Abundance?
Plenty.
Plenty.
Okay, plenty. And face?
Confront.
Confront. Okay, there you go. Okay, so
You know, teacher, for
now,
me,
guys,
it's difficult to put examples with the. I think that I think that we are good in knowing what is the meaning of the word, right? That we translate to Spanish, but the difficult part is when we want to put it in a sentence, right? Like fleeting. I don't know how to put fleeting in a sentence, right?
but if you know that the meaning is short, how can you put this word into context?
Fleeting.
I mean, I was actually wondering if that word you can use that word in any context. For example, then all change all of the sudden, right?
Yeah.
Then you could say it. You could say it. It changed in a fleeting, yeah.
It changed. It changed
in a fleeting. Can you say that?
No, because fleeting is an adjective. It's not a noun.
Okay, so
it was a fleeting moment, for example. That is in a K. It was a fleeting moment.
Yeah, something like
Could
that.
be.
For example, when I was in New York, I stopped by my uncle's house, but it was a fleeting visit.
Okay.
Fleeting is an adjective.
Okay.
Can you give an example using track? Lisandro, can you give an example using track?
Yes. My cousin house where we stayed was completely off the beaten track. I was trying to use the second words that we find in the exercise number 6, I guess. I was trying to combine.
Can you please repeat your example?
Yeah, I had this one here. We can say the house where we stayed, it was completely off the beaten track. Beaten track? I don't know how to say that word. Beaten track?
Beaten track. How do you spell it?
B-E-A-T-E-N.
B-A-E-T-I-N.
No, E-N.
Oh, E-D.
No, B as in boy, E-A-T-E-N.
Beaten.
Beaten.
Beaten. Okay, beaten track. All right. Oh, for example,
I'm gonna write it down here so
Yeah.
you can see it.
I can give you one.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Path.
Yes.
Path, the climbers left the path behind them.
Repeat, Armando.
Okay, the climbers left the track behind them.
The car.
No. The climbers. Climbers.
Oh, the climbers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The climbers left the path behind them.
Mm-hmm. Left the path.
Yeah.
She disappeared without leaving track at all.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So track, guys, is a it's a kind of
lead, a path.
It's a path, it's a way, right?
Her way.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
In what context can you use the word track? Because it has different meanings in
But
my
it
opinion,
all
right?
depends, right?
Okay.
Teacher.
Uh-huh.
Can we use track as a noun and as an adjective? Sorry, as an adjective or as a verb?
A verb. Yes. For example, okay, look at this. I'm going to write down a sentence on the chat. Okay, keep track of class so you can do the homework later. But in this case, it has a different meaning.
Mm-hmm.
So what does
Yeah,
track
because
mean?
you can track, for example, the deliver from UPS, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or from Amazon, you can track it.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
And also in athleticism, the track is name of, right? La pista is the track, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
That's
kind
a
of
track.
traceable way.
Mm-hmm. Or, for example,
First saved message. To listen to the message. Invalid key. To listen to the message again, press 1.
for example, you can say there were tire marks on the track that led down the mountain. There were tire marks on the track that led down the mountain. So in this case, we're talking about a path, right? I mean, the synonym you have on the file. What about immersive? What about immersive? You please write down an example, one of you, using the word immersive.
So, for example, we were immersed in the topic. Well, that is immersed, right? No immersive.
Maybe teacher, if you say live in another country is an immersive experience in my life.
Exactly. Okay, because what is engaging? Engaging is something that is attractive, something that is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. For example, Lisandro might say, uh, visiting the visiting Madrid was an immersive experience. Visiting Madrid was an immersive experience. Okay, something attractive, something interesting. Okay. What about abundance? Abundance.
Well, I have an example of people use
Mhm.
to say, I like to be plenty of time before to go to the airport so that avoid any issue with my flight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or, for example, the city was founded. Sorry, the city was founded in an area with abundant water sources.
Rum. Bless you.
Thank you. Okay. So the city was founded in an area with abundant water sources. What about face, which is confront?
You have to face your fears and overcome them.
You have to face
Your fears.
your fears.
We all face the coronavirus.
Exactly. We all have faced a coronavirus. Okay. All right, guys. Can you please match haves to create phrases? You did it?
Well,
Exercise 6.
Okay, let's see.
Did you finish?
Yes.
Okay. So let's see.
No.
No? Do you have the same?
No.
Do you have the same answers?
No.
For example, number 1, of the beaten track or of the beaten path.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. A fleeting
Moments for life.
life
It's
or
life
moment.
moment.
Exactly.
I
Okay.
put experience, teacher. I don't know if that apply also.
A fleeting experience.
Yeah, for example, the visit of your uncle in New York. It was experience, right?
Yeah.
I was basing on that. Okay.
Yeah. That makes sense. An immersive
experience.
Experience.
Good moment there.
Yeah.
Will be also right.
Yeah, you
But
can say
it's
an
wrong
immersive,
in my
an
case.
immersive life or moment. Yeah, exactly. To live.
Comfort
of your home.
Comfort of your home.
Yes.
Okay, to live the comforts. Comforts. You have the stress on the first syllable,
Comfort.
right? To live the comforts of your home. To provide food in
Abundance.
Abundance. What is the? Is that the right pronounce?
Abundance.
Abundance.
Abundance. Okay,
Like
and to face
challenges.
Challenges. Okay, all right, very good, very good. Okay, guys, we're going to watch a video right now about a man who walked his dog around the world. Have you watched that video before?
No.
No?
No.
Never?
Interesting.
You don't know that story?
No.
Nope.
Okay. So you're going to watch video titled "Why One Man is Walking Around the World with His Dog." So before we watch the video, guys, we have these questions. Okay, or I think that we watch the video first and then we go over the questions, right? It doesn't change anything. Okay, all right, hold on.
Imagine walking your dog 8 hours a day.
Okay, here we go.
Imagine walking your dog 8 hours a day.
Do you hear? No. Okay.
Imagine walking your dog 8 hours a day across 35 different countries. Meet Tom and his dog Savannah.
Semana is ready.
They are doing just that. Together, they've walked 18,000 miles over the past 5 years.
I wanted to be off the beaten track. I wanted to have adventure. Walking was the solution to that. When I was 17, my close friend Anne-Marie died. Suddenly, I realized how fleeting life was and how I needed to make the most of things. What I wanted to do was to travel and to experience humanity in the deepest, most immersive way possible.
On his 26th birthday, Tom packed a sleeping bag, an extra pair of shoes, and a few essential items, and left the comforts of his New Jersey home to embark on this journey.
Oh, and day 5.
My ankle is wrapped up. It's all swollen right there.
After 4 months of walking on my own, camping in strange places, and waking up in the middle of the night, I realized it would be really nice to have a dog with me. So when I got to Austin, Texas, I went to an adoption center.
What's up, Savannah?
There she is.
From Texas, Tom and Savannah crossed their first border into Mexico.
Mexico was the first foreign country that I was walking through. So it was an onslaught of new experiences, new sounds.
Here's the beautiful city.
After walking 24 miles a day for 72 days, they made their way into South America, where they faced some challenges.
Costa Rica became the most challenging walking that Savannah and I experienced.
The walk-in has been really tough, super humid down here.
It was 100 degrees, 100% humidity, walking through jungle, there's no wind. And then in Chile, Savannah sneezes and her nose starts to bleed.
Savannah almost died from a tick bite. Luckily, some locals helped them get to a vet and she recovered. Through moments like these, Tom began to realise the power and beauty in the kindness of complete strangers.
One evening in the middle of the desert, Savannah and I came to a crossroads where there was a little restaurant and nothing else around. And when we asked if we could stay there for the night, the owner gave us dinner and put us up. And so it seemed, no matter how far we were from everything, someone was always there to help us.
Day 799. I am pretty tired. She's not tired. Never tired. She is never tired. This pair of shoes, they are fairly destroyed.
After 2 years of walking, they took a boat to Antarctica before picking his walk back up in Europe and continuing east.
Italy provided everything in abundance, beautiful landscape and food and culture. Every little village is just more beautiful than the next. Croatia was a magical place. Turkey, it was one of the most beautiful, warmest places that Savannah and I crossed.
Today, Tom and Savannah are currently in Baku, Azerbaijan. They have 2 years and 7,000 miles of walking to do.
When I began the journey, I thought I knew a lot about the world, and I thought I knew a lot about myself. I didn't know how much I didn't know. Passing through little villages in the desert, in the mountains, in the jungle, you realize the surface level things change, but all anyone really wants to do is make a little money and spend time with their family. That's universal.
Okay, what do you think, guys, about this guy? You think that he's insane?
He won the lottery for sure, because how much money you spend in one of those trips? 2 years out of your house. I think that you have to spend a lot of money to do that. But I think that it is a life-changing experience, because you go on your own, by foot, and I think that it's actually something that would be nice to do. In the bucket list, it's something that
Do it.
could fit in.
Okay, so you think it's nice traveling by foot and
Why not? It is different. It is different. My brother went to Europe.
Will you do it, Lopez? Will you do it?
If I had the resources, yeah. I was a scout when I was a boy, so I think that that's a challenge I would like to take.
People used to think that if I have money, I will do that, but it's up to you. Of course, you need money, but you do not need a lot of money to travel. If you look, this guy was traveling and with no comfort. He was sleeping on the roads, or so there is no need to have a lot of money to travel. You need to have the passion to do that, and that's it.
But then you need the outfits, you need the transportation, you need to eat. Unless you have a gun or a bow.
This guy, but
to
this
hunt.
guy didn't have anything. It's like,
yeah, in the video seems that they don't have
just his will, right, in order to do these things, right? But he didn't have money, right? He didn't have food, as you could see, right? He was just maybe asking for some help, right, during the trip, right? Maybe a person was willing to give him a
Or maybe he started a fundraising and
piece of bread or something, right?
He started a fundraising and he could do it. You can do that also. I mean, you can ask for $1 to 100,000 people, and then you have your trip secured. Yeah, you can ask for a one dime. What you need is to ask for more people, and there is a lot of people in the world, so you could do that.
Yeah, because it seems that they don't be in beautiful hotels or something like that. They were only walking and getting a ride and things like that.
What do you think about the people who traveling by a backpacking?
By what?
Backpacking.
I think it's a lifestyle, mainly of young people who like adventures, who likes to live, in different places every day. So I respect that kind of, life because it's a matter of look for new stories for telling after when they rise as adult ahead. So I think it's uncomfortable, of course, but plenty of stories for telling other people or the family as well.
Okay.
Something interesting is that backpackers, they just take their bags and they just go away. What they do for living, it's, as an example, they work for food or for a room to sleep at the night, and they are constantly moving to different cities where they can find this type of jobs, and that's what they do to live. And you can find people living for more than 1 year, 2 years, 3 years doing that. You can see people in Europe, as an example, that stays 6 months in Europe, then they go away to a different, as an example, they go to Morocco, and they return after the 3 months period. They return to Europe, and they are doing constantly that. But there is no need to have a lot of money. It's just your mindset. If you want to do that, of course you can do it. Of course, you know that you are not going to be comfortable, but
exactly.
If
And
that is what you want,
and I think that sometimes that's the problem, right? Because when you travel, you want to be comfortable, right? No, maybe not maybe in a very nice hotel like 5 stars hotel, but I mean a place where you can have your bed, right? You can rest a little bit, right? Yeah. Yes, Lisandro?
At least, something decent, something clean.
Yeah. I mean, but
there are very
basically,
hostels, I think, that they are really clean, right?
Yeah.
I already stayed, for example, in Peru, in Ecuador, which the night is about $10, and is, believe me, it's really clean, right? And you have your own space.
Yeah.
I think that everyone looks, or Hollywood movies like show us that the backpacking or the backpackers are hippies, right? Or people that are only passing life. It's not about that. For example, in my case, I preferred traveling with only one backpack, right? And I have only one pair of shoes, a pair of jeans, and I have the exactly amount of clothes that I will use in the travel, right? And I prefer in that case, right? For me, that is comfort. And also, for example, when I stayed in Ecuador or in Peru in different hostels, it's because I only go there and sleep, right? All the day I'm, I don't know, visiting some places,
Exactly,
right?
right?
Making tourism. And
So
for
instead
me,
of
for example, for Carlos Santos, it's not too important sleep in a 5 stars
that's
hotel,
my
right?
point of view, because instead of spending a lot of money on a nice hotel, you can spend your money on a different thing. I mean, visiting some other places
But exactly. But
around,
for
right?
example,
Doing some other activities.
in the case in a case of honeymoon, like obviously you won't go to a hostel, right? You will prefer going to a
Who knows? Who knows,
100
Carlos?
stars.
Right?
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Who
for
knows?
example, one of my best friends
Uh-huh.
do the Camino de Santiago in the honeymoon, and that for me is not a bad idea. It was a good trip in my, I think was right.
Okay. All right. Any other opinion before we finish?
Top banana of the group has visited all the continents. Right, Sandro? You can talk about this.
You are a top banana.
Have you gone to the Arctic, Lisandro?
No. For example.
But you want to go, right?
It's
No,
on the bucket list.
no, no, I don't like that kind of place.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys. We're gonna stop right here. Let's go over the attendance. Okay, Hector Alvarez. Okay, missing. Jonathan Cruz.
Present.
Walter Figueroa.
Present.
Victor Garcia.
Present.
Manuel Gomez.
Present.
Freddy Enriquez.
Present.
Marlon Hernandez.
Present.
Héctor López.
Here I am.
Bea Mendoza. Missing. Carlos Navas.
Present.
Esmeralda Pérez. Missing. Lisandro Ramos.
Present.
Francisco Salazar. Missing. Carlos Santos.
Here,
Carlos
teacher.
Santos, okay.
Yeah.
Becker Granados. Becker.
He was here, but he put something on the chat.
Okay.
He had to leave.
All right. Okay, guys. So I hope you have an immersive weekend. And I'll see you on Monday, okay?
I hope to see.
See you Monday.
All right. Okay.
See you
Thank
next
you,
week.
teacher.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a nice weekend.
All right. Have a nice weekend too.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend too.
Bye bye.